I am finally back to do part two of my favorite albums from 2023. These two albums are actually both from 2023, unlike the other video where one of them was from I think 2022. But both of these albums that I'm covering are actually from 2023. They're new releases from that year. This time I'm starting off with the album called Hope, and this is by NF. He's my favorite artist. I can say that. He's my top artist. I really love him and like what he tries to do with his music. It's something for him that he utilizes, but it's also something that also is helpful to other people, um, so that they can kind of learn with him and learn from him. And it's very mental health based, so I absolutely am there for it. This album I think is 13 tracks long, 13 or 14. And there's no deluxe, there's just a regular version, all the same songs. Hopefully you guys like the album, or at least some of the songs, and you go and check out his other albums. He has 4 other albums, I think, under the name NF, and then he also has an EP that came out before this current album that I'm covering. That one is so good. The EP, I highly recommend going and listening to that. This is Hope by NF, and the first track is actually called Hope. If you don't really believe in you, why would you think or expect anybody else that's around you to? So to have in a mental breakdown is a negative thing, which I'm gonna I agree with. On the other hand, it was the push I needed to get help and start the healing process. See if I didn't ever hit rock bottom, would I be the person that I am today? The song Hope was the first single that he released for this album, and it's kind of like it's a pretty big song, I would say. It's this whole new journey that he's on. I mean, each album for him I think is a new journey, but this one was just like, you know, when you can tell that somebody is just in a whole nother place, just in a significantly better place. That's basically this album. And then this song is just like letting you know that. And it just really encapsulates his new state of mind. The next song is called Motto, and this is his second, and I'm pretty sure his last single from this album. Went from ambition to the big leagues. How are you unemployed? Telling me to get a life, you should look at yours. You heard the saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, it's on my toe. I think there was kind of like a pretty even divide between like fans of his on this song. A lot of them were not too fond of it. I think that, I guess it is pretty like commercialized, or I don't want to say generic, but it's definitely not something that I would necessarily associate with him, just because his music is so specific and so different from other people's. This one doesn't have that same exclusivity, I guess you could say. So it's not that I don't like this song, but I understand the reasoning why people don't like this song. But for me, the difference between this song and his other songs isn't enough to make me say, oh, I don't like this song. But you can tell me your guys' opinions on this. And now we're moving on to the next song, which is Careful. This is one of two of my favorite songs on this album. Starting on me, you get exposed. I don't wanna pick, then I buy both. Doesn't go plat, it'll go gold. I be the house trying to lay low, ducking and dodging the promo. Think about I'm so thankful. Subpar songs, I'll make those. You know I hate what I ain't for. Talking about risks, I take those. I really like that song just because it's like really high energy. if you've listened to his other songs, other albums, a lot of the times they are slower. He does a really good job. He's a really good writer. So they're just good songs, but when we get fast-paced songs, they're like on a whole other level. The next song is called Mama. This song is emotional. I got a I think I don't think I cried, but I think I just felt like a wave of emotion, especially the first few times I listened to this song, because this song is like a progression. Sorry, my voice. It's like a progression because he's had another song in an earlier album talking about his mom. You laugh more, you feel like heaven is everything you could ask for. I ever make it up there when I see you, I hope you're smiling cause you deserve it. Pray to God that you found joy. Did you think you were trash, something disposable that nobody could love or be glad to say they was with you? That issue is an issue I had. I don't think that a clip or clips of this song are enough. You definitely have to go listen to the whole song. I just want to let it sink in. I don't really feel like this is a song where I'm like dancing to, but I think that you can definitely hear, even if you didn't hear his first song on this topic, just this song, he kind of talks a little bit about how he's grown and he's able to see things differently now. It was a lot of anger at the beginning in the first song, very angry. In this song, it's more understanding and relating. So again, a lot of growth that I see happening, and it's really beautiful because it just, even if someone isn't around, you having a good relationship with them is still it'll affect you personally. So if there is a way for you to forgive or just come to an understanding with someone who isn't here anymore, it can still help you out and be beneficial to you and your mental health. So definitely, if someone's passed away, don't think that you can't change anything anymore. The next song is called Happy, and I actually just realized that he did release 3 singles. This is the last single that he released. The truth is I need help, but I just can't imagine who I'd be if I was happy. Don't know what's around the bend, don't know what my future is. I relate to this song and just kind of like the notion that you don't know who you are or what you're like when you're happy, because you've been in such a dark place for so long, and you want help and you want to get out of that headspace, or that physical place, but you are scared because you don't know what it's going to be like. And I think that that's something that a good amount of people have to get over, especially when they're just like admitting that they want help. And then going to therapy is like a whole other step, because I feel like there's different steps. Just knowing that acknowledging that you need help isn't the same as actually going to therapy. I think that they're 2 separate steps. And so I really am proud of people who are able to admit that they need help and also get that help that they need and work towards bettering their life, their situation, their health, because you guys all deserve it. And we should be happy. We shouldn't be in a negative state of mind. We don't deserve that. The next song is called Pandemonium, and this is my other favorite song. Something special about me, you can already tell the energy is different. Mastermind consistent, matching my commitment, that's not realistic. Got their noses up, I know why. Jealous of me cause the flow nice. Heading with the rap, how could you forget? Thought I might have left, thought I might have quit, thought I hung it up, thought I'd think again. I really, really enjoy that song. It's very, like, cocky, I guess, confident. I lack that. So when songs like this come out and I really like them, I vibe with them, I really enjoy listening to them because that, like, I'm feeding off of that energy. I am trying to copy or like mimic that type of confidence because I am lacking it. And so it helps me be less like in my shell. So the next song is called Suffice. If I did it, then I did it right. Better guess me, you gon' pay the price. Down the business, I am playing nice. Speaking what they said I couldn't. Mediocre, I won't cut it. I like that this song has a switch up in the middle, so it kind of sounds like two songs. I sometimes get confused when I'm listening. It really speaks to his growing confidence in himself and his ability. There's so much self-doubt that goes on in anybody, and I feel like he's starting to stop feeding into that so much and realizing that he is where he is because he deserves it and he has been working for this. And that's just personal growth, and always love to see that. The next song is Gone, and the song actually has a feature. Julia Michaels is on this song, and she helped write the song also. Guess all wasn't enough. Happy for you, I am. Yeah, don't get me wrong, I am. Once in a while, it's true. Think about you too. A really nice song. I think that not only vocally they're different, but complementary. Sonically, musically, it's also different but complementary. You hear that part where there is just that loud music, it's rough, and then you hear the soft piano where it's just super light, and it contrasts well and they fit together well, even though you wouldn't think that they would. And like I said, their voices, they're different. NF isn't necessarily like a quote unquote singer like Julia Michaels is, but I mean, NF, he can still sing. Like, don't get me wrong with that. He can still sing. It's just different. A lot of times when there's collaborations and people are in the same type of the same genre of music, they might sound pretty similar, and that's why they sound good together, right? But these two artists here, they sound different, and like I said, they feel like they're symbolic of two different people who are opposites, and you wouldn't think they would go together, but they were together. And but then there's also the lyrics of it all, and it's talking about how that relationship was kind of doomed from the start, and it should have just been a one-time thing. They are opposites. They don't go as well together as they wished that they did. Next up is Bullet. I would take a bullet, give my life in a second if it came down to it. Sacrifice anything to see the light in your eyes, I swear I'd do it. You need somebody, I got you. That song was about or for his wife. It's very sweet, and that saying, you know, I would take a bullet for you. Bruno Mars, that song, I cannot think of the name of, but where I think it says, jump in front of a train for you, that's what it is. Not the name of the song, but the lyric that I was thinking of. Similar to this, I would take a bullet for you. You love someone so much that you would sacrifice yourself for them. And I think that that's lovely, but also I think that it can be dangerous. So I'm not saying that he's in an unhealthy relationship. I'm saying that there are situations where that kind of thinking can be dangerous, and it can be a sign that someone is in a not so good relationship. You have to have some sort of boundary, and you can't just live your life for someone else. So I think there's a line there where it is sweet and showing how in love you are, but there's also the other side where it is something that is not necessarily to be aspired to. The next song is called Turn My Back. I don't need my name coming out your mouth. You got some doubts. Worry about yourself. I don't need your help. This song is about a few different things, but one of the things is basically just people doubting you when you're trying and you're going towards your goal, you're working towards getting to your goal, and people are just telling you that you're never gonna make it, that you can't do this, that you can't do that, that they're better than you, that there are other people that are better than you, and then you block all that out and you keep going because this is what you want. He's an example. Block that out. Do not care about it. Put your wants first. You want to get to this place, you will get to that place if you keep working and ignoring all of the hate and all the negativity. If you have positive thoughts and you are surrounding yourself with good people and you're working hard, you will get there. This song is trying to tell you to just keep reaching for your dreams and ignoring the negativity. All right, the next song is called Mistake. If time heals, tell me why do I myself trying to show you I'm not a mistake. So don't you get confused thinking if you bring me down, I'ma just choose to let myself get used. If anyone has heard that phrase being said to them or something similar, you are perfect. You are so special and so unique and so needed. I just encourage you to be kind to yourself, and hopefully others around you are being kind to you as well, and just loving you and caring about you and making you realize that those horrible words are not true and you're not disposable. You're not a mistake. You are meant to be here. And I may not know you personally, but I'm happy that you're here. The next song is Let Him Pray. Life will test you, don't forget to remember the fundamentals. And keep on praying, God ain't listening to you. He is still in his confident state. He is saying, you can wish bad on me all that you want, but it's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna fall because I am excelling in what I'm doing right now, and I have gone through all of this stuff, and I've learned and I've grown, and I'm staying here right now because this is where I deserve to be after everything that I've gone through and everything that I put in, all my energy, all my time. So you can keep wasting your breath trying to make me fall, but it's not gonna happen. The last song of the album now is next. It's called Running. There's happiness on the horizon. I'm hopeful I can see the light. I wish you the best, but I'm not interested in giving you more of my life. I've already given you too much. A very good ending song. I think around my first 2 listens, I think that I was a little bit iffy on this being the closing song, but I think now I like it here. Before it was I just felt like it was too much of a sad note to end on. But now, maybe now that I understand the meaning of it, or at least I have a meaning of it now. I don't know if my meaning is the intended meaning, but I personally think that this song is letting go of your past self and your past bad habits. He's going to stop running away from things and hiding in the shadows. And that, I mean, saying goodbye or parting with a part of your past is difficult. It can, cause a grieving process. But then there's that other side of it where he's saying goodbye because he is growing and he is making better choices and decisions for himself and his happiness, his well-being. And that's the personal growth. That's the personal growth that I am here for and I'm so happy to see in this album. And yeah, that's why now I think it's a good ending song, because like I mentioned at the beginning, this album is incredibly different from his other albums while also still being similar. And this song, I think, does encapsulate that well, where he is having this transition and he's going up in his mental health and his progress. He's moving forward and he's evolving and he's just doing great from what I can tell from his music, his lyrics. I think that he is in such a better place than he was mentally. He's in such a better place than he was in his previous years and his previous albums. And I know that his life has been changing in really big ways, and it's just so good to see. And I'm so happy and proud. And he's older than me, which is kind of funny. Wow, I feel like a proud mom or something, but that's just how I feel. I'm super happy with his progress, and I really enjoyed this album, and I hope you did too. So that's it for this one. Okay guys, so it's time for the last album, the 4th album of this little series, and I think that's so fitting. I didn't mean to plan this one as the 4th one, but this album is called The Fourth Wall, or Fourth Wall, no the. And it's by Ruel. He is an Australian artist. He has another album and he has like other music and he's done some other collaborations. So I would definitely recommend looking at his discography and looking at songs that he's done. The collaborations, I like them because they're different from how he sounds like on his own stuff. I feel like it kind of puts him in a different zone, but he still excels in that. I think his last album honestly was about growing up, and I think that this album again is kind of with that thing too of growing up, but obviously the time between that last album that he had and this album, he's grown even more, so grown up even more. So I feel like even if it is a little bit similar to the theme of his last album, it's still different because he's going through different things and he's experienced different things. I'm excited for you guys to listen to this album. Definitely let me know if you've already heard of Ruel, because there's not too many of them. And let me know if you like this album also and you're gonna start listening to Ruel, because that would make me super happy as well. Okay guys, I don't know what happened, but I somehow missed the first song off of this album. So the actual first song from Fourth Wall
is called Go On Without Me. I really, really love this song, so I'm glad I caught this, and I'm actually gonna put this in now. I'll talk about it after, so here's the song. Please don't take me back. I tell you I've changed, but that doesn't change the fact that I'm out of chances. I think this song was a good starter for this album. The first line, I think it's the line that I put in. He says, "Whatever you do, please don't take me back." And I like that he's advocating for the other person. Like, he's trying to do what's best for the other person. Normally people are selfish and they think about themselves first, but he knows that this other person might just take him back even though he doesn't deserve it, just because this person really wants to be in a relationship with him, or just because this person is just gonna be forgiving super easily, and even though that person shouldn't be. So I like that he is kind of being that voice for the other person. I've been talking in circles, so I probably cut a lot of this out, but to just end it off, it's a good intro song. I like it. It's happy and upbeat and light and relatable, and it's just something that I enjoyed. So the next song is I Don't Want to Be Like You.
It's so fun, and you just want to like move and dance and sing along, and he just like puts you in that mood where you're energized and you're just like, when you're with your friend and you're like feeding off each other's energy. It's like that. That was this song, and the next song is called Sitting in Traffic. Okay, so that song, about a relationship. I think that it is something that a lot of people experience when they go through a breakup. It's very difficult, and you look back a lot and you reminisce. In the moment, you're so happy that you're doing this with this person, and then you guys break up and you think about that moment, and it's sad and it's hard to think about because that is already a moment. It's not happening, and if you guys aren't together or no longer in each other's lives, it's not gonna happen again. Definitely a beautiful song, and he does a live version of this song. Guys, if you thought that song was pretty, the live version it's unbelievable. Like, it's so pretty. His vocals are absolutely amazing. It's unbelievable. Like I can't even describe it to you guys. It is an amazingly beautiful song, and I definitely recommend going and listening to the live version. I'll probably put the details below. Okay, so the next song now is called Japanese Whiskey. When you only fall in love with things I really will, I can't decide if I like it or just can't let it go. I don't know if you guys kind of picked up on this too, but I feel like the topic of it is kind of reminiscent of Ariana Grande's I cannot remember the song right now. I'll have to put it up here, but it reminds me of that one song from her Thank You Next album, where the topic is just, you're imagining this person. Well, in Ariana Grande's version, she's imagining this person. She's making them up in her head, but it's not what this person actually is and what he's actually like. And in this song with by Ruel, he's more saying he is trying to be what the other person wants him to be. That was Japanese Whiskey, and the song is called Growing Up Is, and then there's a blank. Growing up is weird, sleep with friends, break your heart, question everything you've done for a year, and then it disappeared. I don't think the song is specific to like when you're transitioning from being a teenager to being an adult. I think that this also can resonate with people who are just teenagers, 13 all the way up to 18, all the way up to being an adult, a young adult. I mean, our brains are still forming, and our frontal lobe, that's what's still forming, and impulse control, and all these things that adults have that make them a little less impulsive, it's not our strong suit. So, and then there's also just all these new feelings that we're feeling and all these new experiences that we're having for the first time, and it can just get all jumbled up in our head, and we feel one way and then we feel another way, and we don't even know what's happening sometimes. It's like out of our control, it feels like. So yeah, this song, it does a really good job of encapsulating like who who we are, us young people, what's going on in our heads, and affirming that oh my gosh, affirming that we don't even understand ourselves all the time or understand our actions, and that we're feeling things. This next song is called Set Yourself on Fire. Moving our lives never gets old. Nothing can last, you better let go. Tell yourself it's going great, but on the inside it's not working, but you still can't look away. That was a happy song. Unfortunately, the next song is not a happy one, but this song, it's good. I like it. It's a good song to sing along to. His vocal range at the end, though, it's not a karaoke song. I could not do that last part. The next song now is called A Lie. I planned my life around the promises that we both made. A super sad song. I feel like you could make a breakup playlist with some of these songs, like half of the songs on this album. You could add it to your breakup playlist. They're so sad. And I can't imagine like actively being in a breakup and listening to the song. It's hard because you know that this person doesn't want to be with you anymore. And you might not be at that place. You might still want to be with them, and it's hard to fathom, especially to hear that. And so it's less painful if you don't have to hear that. If you know that that's true, okay, it hurts, but hearing it, it's worse. And this song is just basically about that. How can you please just tell me that you still love me? I know you don't, but can you at least say that you do? Because I need that right now. And it's heartbreaking. But getting broken up with doesn't make you a bad person or someone who is unlovable or anything. It's just that relationship didn't work out. That person isn't for you. And that's it. It's hard to hear that when you're actively going through a breakup, when you're actively being broken up by someone. But hopefully once the healing has began, you do realize that whoever this person that I'm talking to right now is, hopefully you realize that, and it's just one relationship, one person, and it's okay because your person is still out there, and that's exciting. The next song is called Let the Grass Grow. Break a promise so I can leave, but not for me so I can sleep. Letting my head fall, let the grass grow on me. This song, I don't know if it's fully about the environment, but I definitely think that's a big part of it. And I didn't look up like the meanings of all these songs. So I'm just taking from what I gather after hearing these songs. And if the song really was meant to like bring awareness to the environment and like the situation, I think that that's so sweet. Like, how many people are making songs about the environment? I don't think a lot. And they might talk about the trees or the grass, but they're not talking about what's happening to them and why it's happening and how devastating it is to our environment, to our planet. So automatically I like this song because of that. But then again, it's also very his voice is just so pretty. He's such a good singer, and the lyrics, I think they achieve what they were meant to achieve. If, like I said, if my idea of what this song is about is correct, then the lyrics definitely achieved that, and they did it in a way where it's not super like harsh or, you know, like in your face. It's very light, and it's a beautiful song that you can listen to without just being like, this is a song about how we're destroying our planet. The next song is called You Against Yourself. I'm looking for you, but you're not even trying. Is this what you want? I can't even tell. Why is it always you against yourself? Back to the happy songs, upbeat songs. Well, I guess I don't know if I would consider that happy, but it's definitely upbeat. And I think it's true for a lot of us, right? We get in our own heads and we're our own worst critic, and you know, all these things where you're self-sabotaging. A lot of things come from within, and it can be annoying and frustrating, not only to us but to people around us, right? Because there's people around us that love us and care about us. You know, they see that we're being self-destructive, and they want us to see them the way that they see us. And I think that we want that too. I know I want that. I see all these negative things about me, and the people around me are always like, what are you talking about? Try and believe in yourself and think positively about yourself. Don't be so critical, because this is you. This next song is called Someone Else's Problem. And I won't miss the way I used to be obsessed. Now I couldn't care less. Really don't it's someone else's problem now. So that song is kind of funny. I think that we can, well, I mean, I hope that we can all relate to that. But if you can, I know I can too. Where you're just like, yeah, bye. Wow. I cannot believe I put up with you. I definitely feel that. And I mean, it's good that we all came to that realization, right? The ones of us who relate. I think, or I don't think, I'm proud that we came to that realization, and I'm happy that that situation ended. I like that song, and then the last part about it, like the last two lines, I think that is such a good thing to add. Like, it's adds so much character and sincerity, but also again, just like it's funny, like it's poking a joke at the whole situation. It's just a good, fun song that you can laugh about. The next song is called Wish I Had You. I'm alone to the way you see the world. My mind still dreams of you. I'm trying to do it on my own. Oh God, I wish I had you. Another horribly heartbreaking song. I I actually thought I was gonna start crying, or at least tearing up during that song. Like, the other ones were emotional too, but this song right now, oh my gosh, I was really trying not to start tearing up. It's so emotional, so sad, and again, his voice. He does these songs so good. His voice during these songs is perfect. It's like, it's so beautiful that you could cry just because of how beautiful it is, but then the topic of the song also would make you cry. So when you put those two together, like, the emotions are so high, and I really like songs that can evoke emotion in you even when you're not in that headspace. Those powerful songs I really, really enjoy, and I think that they're super, super special because the artist is really coming through, and the music and everything together is just so good. If you are in a relationship or you're getting out of a relationship, I definitely want to hear like how you're resonating with these songs. But if you're not in a relationship and you're still really resonating with these songs, I also want to know, like, why and what you're feeling and what this might be bringing up. Guys, I'm so sorry for like my little commentaries. I feel like I just get so wrapped up in the emotions, or I say something and then I just get stuck on that one thing and I start going somewhere else and forgetting that I'm talking about a song. I hope that this is still entertaining for you guys though, and I hope I'm still like adding something to the conversation and adding another element to these songs. But the next song now is If and or When. Cause I know the chances of staying together are slim. Of this line, I'm tired of writing in pencil, I'm making you wait. I think that this title is so good. It's such a good representation of how some people feel when they're in relationships, especially how they feel if they've been in, some they've had some negative experiences. It might not be an if, they might just be waiting for a when is this gonna end. I think that I sometimes just go to that negative space, and not just with, like, I'm not talking about relationships specifically, I'm just talking in general. I think that that is something that I do have some trouble with. I will be thinking about the end of it, or the possible bad thing that's gonna come after the good. The next song is called Must Be Nice, and this is a single that I was talking about at the beginning when I was introducing this album. They told me you were happy with him. Tell me what it's like to sleep well every night. Must be nice. Oh my gosh, I did not cry, thankfully. I feel like crying though. I do feel like crying. I don't even know what to say about these songs other than what I've been saying about them. Beautiful, amazing. His voice is amazing. The emotions, I feel them. I am feeling them so much. And this situation, when someone that you were with has moved on, and they're in a good place, they're in another relationship, they're happy, they're doing their own thing, and you're still here grappling with what happened and the loss, and it's just unbelievable. Like, how are you okay right now? How how did this happen? And you don't feel the same way that I do right now. And it's difficult to see that. It's difficult to know that you and your ex-partner aren't in the same place. And it can feel like maybe they didn't even care about you or the relationship. And I don't think that that's always true. I think that some people just handle things differently. You're gonna get over it and you're gonna move on, and not only with relationship stuff, but with your aspirations, with school, with work, whatever it is that you're doing or whatever it is that you want to do. You're not stuck here. They weren't stuck. So just, I guess, think of it as something to like aspire to, right? They got over it. They're okay. Or maybe they're not over it, but they've worked through it enough where they're in a different headspace. They're in a different part of the grieving process, right? So you will get there too. So guys, this is the final song. This is called End Scene. And I don't know if I mentioned, but this album is not a deluxe album, so this is truly the final song. How close can we get to closure? Jumped out of the car to prove I was alive. So that was it, you guys. That was the last song. It was almost 5 minutes long. I think that it's a lovely song to end on. I wouldn't say that it's sad. I don't think it's upbeat, but I don't think that it's sad. I think it's just kind of, I guess maybe like bittersweet, right? Melancholy. Like, it's not a hard end. I think that it can be about a relationship, but I also think that it can be about like maybe a new chapter in your life, like graduation maybe, where these people you might not see anymore, you might not see, or you're not going to be in the same group that you were before, even in smaller settings, like not school settings. I don't know, maybe you're going to a different job or something. I don't know, but just any group where you connected with these people and you're now gonna be in a different space than them after spending all this time together. It can be bittersweet. I don't know why my voice went up like that, but it can be bittersweet. You're happy that you're moving forward in your life, in your career, in whatever it is that you're doing, but it's also sad because you're leaving this family or this group of people that you've created a bond with. And it was a good ending song. I like the beginning song. I think it was a good place to start. The ending song, I think it's a good place to end. I'm sad that this little series is over, but I already told you guys that I'm planning on doing one with another artist, 2 different projects from the same artist in another video. And then this obviously was my 2023 albums, so later this year or maybe next year I'll be doing my 2024 albums, although I don't know who's coming out with an album. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, comment. Have a million comments just from you. Tell me each song, what you thought of each song. Tell me about the artist. Tell me about if you've listened to other music from that artist. Tell me if you're a fan of that artist now. Just anything that you can remotely connect to this video. Tell me about it. I would love to hear from you guys and read the comments. And thank you guys for watching. I don't know what's coming next. I don't know what video is coming next, but look out for that. I cannot wait to see you guys in another video. Thanks again for watching. Do not need no introduction. Yeah. Ooh, it's coming, letting go. If you also think this is your, or not think, if this song is also your favorite,